town is an ore town, so it's probably not likely to find, at least not too many leather workers. You're
Well,
more likely to find blacksmiths and stuff.
Well, because like I reposted the picture of the boring clicks that we used. Like it totally looks like you can slot someone's head in there if you got rid of the lower jaw, right? Like that could totally just be a helmet, right? Dan?
yeah, no, your face would definitely fit in there if that's what you're. But you have the crown and the like the side cheekbones that are kind of gonna dig into your shoulders if you try to wear it.
Right. So I need to get rid of. Well, if you look at the way the crown is shaped, the crown is those. So if you remove the crown, those come with it.
Yeah, because um did you want just the like the skull face, or did you want to keep some of the crown as well?
Some of the crown, like the side bit, like with like the part that's connected to the bloody bone, and then the actual back part, like the almost like deer antlers thing.
Yeah.
That and the just get rid of, and that should solve that issue.
Yeah,
It
I
took me
mean, so
fucking 10 minutes to load up.
uh
It doesn't have to count as armor because I like my unarmored defense.
yeah,
But
no, it's like just visual.
right, it's more like a trophy to what I've done.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it's what the group's done, but he wanted to wear it.
I just held it down while you cut into it.
Right, like everyone else was blasting it from a distance, and I just went, okay, time to slash.
Have you got any tools?
I literally have a knife. I don't have any tool proficiencies that I know of.
No one does. Besides Beth.
I mean, you have Tinker's tools, and in that box, there's probably enough. Like a chisel would probably help me do this.
I do have leather workers tools. I bought those.
Ooh. I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, Dankos basically have every tool.
Basically, but not everything.
Just let me borrow some tools, and I'll see if I do it properly. Because you know,
Watch you break up.
no, I won't watch this. Just watch.
Strife fucking walks in to like the very tiny shack, like on all fours, like reaches in, grabs a couple tools out of the box, not looking, and then leaves.
Yeah, we'll say I did that. What do I have to roll for this? That's an actual. That's something Strife would actually do. That's such a like in character thing for him.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, this will do.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah, I'm just thinking.
Okay, sorry. I heard like I heard Vista lagging, and I was like, oh no. Ah,
Yeah, butter is lagging out, I think.
he literally went. Ah.
Basically what he did.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done. I don't know. You decide how good my character will be at this because he really is just trying with random tools. He doesn't know how to make helmets. He does know how to carve bone though, and how to.
Yeah, because do you want it to be actual helmet, or do you want it to just be something that he can wear as a trophy?
I need
It's
to
more
see
like
how
a
many
wearable
and what do I
trophy.
have. So give me a second. There's one. Oh.
What? All of that just caught up at once. Anyway, it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to be protective. To him, it's more like it's like a thing like a barbarian would do. You know, like I killed this, I'm gonna wear it. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be protective as much as it has to be like for show. You know.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, because you're just trying to break the bone apart to make it wearable.
And I want to do it as cleanly as possible because I want that back stuff, like that, the part that isn't what I'm wearing, to be either usable or sellable.
Okay.
Like that could be probably turned into an axe. You could take fragments of it and add it to gauntlets. You can turn parts of it into like a jagged sword. Like I still want it to be usable, but so if I'm gonna cause damage, I'll cause it to that piece, but I want to do the least amount of damage possible, if any.
Okay, do you want to divide it into 2 pieces? So you're gonna do one side, then see how you do then, and then you can do the other side.
Sure.
Okay,
Give me a
so how about
second.
a survival roll, but using your strength?
Be right
Uh,
So you can just roll strength, but it's gonna be like a survival check.
I have expertise on my strength check. Okay. I have proficiency in survival. Would I throw that on top?
Yeah, sure, you can add your
Okay.
proficiency.
Proficiency bonus is 3, so this is actually going to be a good number, by the way.
Whoa!
26.
Wow! Oh, almost not 20. Yeah, I would say you do quite well with it. You manage to break off the let's say right side of the crown cleanly without damaging anything.
Gonna try to mimic what I did to the other side perfectly. Oh, that was a save. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Fuck.
Okay, on the other one, you attempt to recreate what you've done with the first piece, but your hand slips just barely, and then you put too much force while trying to like break the bone off after slightly cutting into it, and then a piece stays. So the mask, like the skull, doesn't get damaged at all, but a piece of the crown is still attached to it. Like there's like one old antler going off to the side on the left side.
Can I find like a really gritty tool and attempt to like shave it off?
What do you?
Couple
What
thoughts.
would be a greedy tool?
Like something that I can file it down with, like a literal file. He probably has that.
I mean,
Most
The
you
jeweler's
don't
kit
have any
almost
tools, so unless you reach out to Danku, probably, then
I thought that's what we were borrowing these from.
oh,
I thought that's why I could add my proficiencies, because we just said like I just grabbed some tools out of his box because it'll hut.
yeah, I guess that would be possible. So that's gonna be yet another check to see how you do.
I'm gonna blow up, bruh.
You file it down, but it's not perfect.
That's fine. And are the other 2 pieces still usable?
So the right piece that you broke off first is basically fully intact. There's just the clean line that you've broken it away from the skull, and then the other side is a bit damaged and cannot be. Not everything that can be done with the right side can be done with the left side. So you cannot change it into like you said earlier, a axe or something like that.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it still bad?
I mean,
Yes, but
Yeah.
like we can hear you, we can understand you. It sounds like
Sorry.
a Modern Warfare lobby.
Well, my internet is a lot stronger now because I was connected to Discord on my phone, which made me lag very much.
okay. Hannah, do you have your mask on again?
Yeah, I have to keep my mask on,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
this is the best that it's gonna get. if you were gonna reach inside Dunkel's little hut, you'll have to roll a d8.
Rolls D8.
Yeah, a d8 to see what you grab.
I got a 6.
Oh my fucking god, you actually got it. You got the leather tools.
Poggers.
Hey, yeah,
Just
so
grabs the alchemist supplies.
Yep. Just fucking dissolves it.
with a bit of help from Danko and his utensils, you managed to do mostly what you intended to do.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to use the side things for anything, or is that are we good?
They were sturdy, right?
And
Like
sharp,
those things look like they could take a beating.
Yep.
and very sharp.
Could be used as a weapon or a shield.
Don't use it.
Hey, so how many days did we go through? 3, 4 days? Something like that. I think it was the bigger half of the week. So we ended with 3 days
We
left.
did.
So is there anything else you wanted to do, Strife?
Probably just restock on all of my like rations and other stuff. And what's the dog doing during this time?
Well, the dog's been fed quite well, so it doesn't have any necessary needs for going off and hunting for itself. So it's become a bit lazy, but it's still a wild animal.
How did those bear bugs get it to calm down? I can like work with them. It didn't
Okay,
attack them at all.
from remembering it, what it looked like, the dog was literally chained. The bugbear was holding the chains, and the dog was chained next to him. They were probably like semi abusing it, but at the same time allowing it to feed on whatever they kill. That's why it was, semi following the orders or willing of the bugbears.
Yeah, I just want to make this thing loyal.
And you can
So-
certainly try.
Longer process than what they did, that's for sure.
Also, another thing before we touch upon the dog. So Ash, Kialis, and Danko were staying in the same area, more or less. And there's basically cost to your living per day. So were you gonna stay in the inn in town, or were you gonna stay with them?
It'd probably be better or best to stay with them since I want to stay around the dog.
Okay.
So
So if you go to in-game chat on the Discord text channel,
yeah.
there's the screenshot of the price per day lifestyle, sorry.
I remember putting his as poor.
It's wealthy.
What? What about wealthy?
So which lifestyle did you want to go with? Because that's gonna dictate how much you spend per day.
Yeah, I remember putting him as poor, like, because he's like used to living in the woods.
Okay. So even with living in the Kialis's house, that still would run you 2 silver pieces plus additional half of that for your dog if you're willing to maintain it. So that's gonna be 3 silver pieces per day.
How many days?
So it's been 4 days. So 3 times 4.
12. Yeah. So just minus 12. I have 207 silver on me. 95.
Oh, did you deduct the gold that I borrowed from you?
I never even added it to begin with.
Okay. So I took 210, added another 40 because you should have had 250.
Okay.
Okay, and going back to the dog. So first day, you did the helmet, you can call it that, and
Yeah.
you have a chance to like bond with your dog. So if you describe to me, what would you be doing with the dog? How would you be approaching it? And then you can roll for it.
What kind of town is this again?
Digville. So
Yeah.
if you're asking like what kind of citizens and place it is, it's
Yeah.
western looking town, and like 99% of citizens are dwarves. So there's
Okay.
like if you spot any other race, it's very rare. So you stood out like a sore thumb in the crowds. You stand out.
Okay. I'm not trying to get this thing taken by PETA, so can I go? I'd probably take it to the places with less people and just like lay it down and chill with it, feed it, maybe occasionally go
Oh,
like.
so the guys set up their housing outside of town, just outside of it.
Um, so how used to people, at least party members, does it seem? Like it doesn't growl at us anymore, right?
No, unless you do a swift or quick motion that it didn't expect, then it becomes like semi-aggressive for a moment. But most of the time it remains calm, just wary of everyone's presence.
Can I at least touch it yet? Like, does it get mad when I try and touch it?
Roll animal handling. Yeah. It lets you pet it.
That's surprising. Yeah, I want to get it at least used to being around the party members. Like it doesn't feel frightful of us. If anything, it gets like relaxed around us. So probably spending a lot of time near there, feeding it and just like making sure it's okay with us being near it. It realizes we're not going to hurt it. We're only going to feed it. On one of those days, I kind of want to take it out hunting and see what it does.
Okay. Just quickly, can I interrupt? Butter,
Mhm.
can you switch yourself to press to talk? Or because there's a lot of background noise.
Ah,
Thank you. Hey, sorry, so what did you want to see if...
I kind of wanted to try taking it hunting and seeing what it would do, like how it would react. 'Cause it's something
Sure.
it would obviously do with the bugbears, so maybe it'd realize like, okay, this is normal. This is like the same thing, different people.
Okay, so... the area is mostly hills with plains in between the hills. There are some trees outside of this area, so you would have to like go off away from the town for like an hour.
Okay.
And so, are you looking for anything specific, or you're looking for any kind of prey?
Literally anything bigger than the dog, or roughly the same size as the dog. Actually, yeah, anything rabbit-sized or bigger.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll perception for me. That's for the second day. Okay. And also stealth.
Hunter go burr.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm good at some things, not others.
Well, we all have our specialties. Also, hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, what you do find is a fox.
Fox.
So while walking through this area, you're still mostly in like open space. There's a few trees growing around, but there's some bushes around which you can use to your advantage in hiding and approaching a little animal that you've spotted.
Yep.
So yeah, what's your approach here?
So the dog's following me with this leash, right? Chain leash.
Yeah.
Okay. So, step one, I want to make sure the dog notices it. So, I want to get close enough that and the dog would notice it, but the fox hasn't noticed us.
Okay. So I would say you get within about 30 feet before you assume that any closer and the animal may spot you.
Does the dog see it? Is he looking at it?
Yep, the dog does see it.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to let go of the leash.
Okay. So you let go of the leash and it stands next to you, one head on you and the other head on the fox.
Okay. Okay, this is when I could probably teach you to command. So I'm gonna try to make like a bird noise.
Okay. I need you
What
to roll.
kind of bird noise?
That's one thing. Another thing. Yeah, actually, yeah. What kind of bird noise thing?
Fuck, what's like... I want it to be a really uncommon bird noise.
What, for like the area?
Just for most areas, I want it to sound like, oh yeah, that's a bird, but like not a bird you'd hear very often. That's something that could throw off the command. I don't want it to just be a whistle, because then people might hear a whistle and get curious. Actually, dogs have really sensitive hearing, don't they?
They do.
You know how like all cats, like all felines can make that like really kind of like
a hiss
weird
or
purring. Not a hiss, but
oh,
like
a
that
purr.
like you know, like that sound.
Yeah.
And they can make it like this really weird pitch. It's like hard to hear for us, but they hear it just fine.
Yeah.
If he can hear that, I want to like make that and like point at it.
Okay. So what I need you to do is roll performance with advantage.
Fuck. Charisma stat go burr.
Charisma
Okay,
stat.
and then on top of that, can you roll animal handling?
Normal or advantage?
Normal.
Fuck.
Okay, so the dog notices the noise you make and you see that it kind of understands what you're trying to convey here, but it doesn't react to it.
Doesn't I'm gonna hold out a piece of jerky. We've been walking for like an hour now, so it might be okay with a little snack. I'm going to do it again, really urging towards the thing, holding out the jerky. Like, reward.
Okay. Roll another animal handling.
This.
Hey, you got a +1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Jerky
Dang.
Oh
+1.
my fucking god. The jerky +1? Let's
No
fucking go. I'm
jerky
just kidding.
+1.
So the dog begins to take a couple steps forwards and lowering itself to the ground, like preparing for something, but it doesn't make any actions yet. And still one head on you, one head on the fox.
What do foxes normally hunt? Birds, rabbits, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
rodents.
Okay. I'm gonna go behind a tree and just start like rustling in nearby leaves that they can't see me from.
Okay. Make a deception check.
See if I can bait this thing towards me.
Okay. You notice that it lifts its head and starts scanning the surrounding and begins slowly treading its way towards you.
Patient.
Very silently, just like jumping on its paws towards the sound. And the dog notices the animal approach and takes another step forward towards it.
I'm gonna keep the rustling up to grab its attention, the foxes.
Okay.
Just gently, not like super like, oh man, there's something like freaking out over here, just like something gently scraping against like leaves and stuff.
Okay, go ahead, roll one more deception.
Oh.
Foxes are intelligent, not wise.
You got a point.
It gets about within 7 feet, and then you peek to see where it is, and it notices your face. But exactly as that happens, your dog lunges forwards and attempts to attack it. Now I need you. Actually, never mind.
Yeah. Since it had, since it was unnoticed, would it have advantage?
Okay, go ahead and roll d20 for me
And you'll just add everything up.
with advantage, like you said.
Okay. I'll just roll it
Twice for 2 heads.
I can type. Ooh.
Okay. The fox manages to jump away, and you're like, damn it. And then as your dog appears from behind the tree that was covering your vision, you see as its 2 large paws land on the fox's body and pin it down. And he starts ripping into the animal.
Okay. At this point, I'm gonna immediately throw the jerky at it because I'm betting this jerky tastes better.
Jerky tastes better than fresh meat? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You might have a point. I'm gonna try and make it. This time, I am gonna make like a whistle noise at it because I don't want it to completely ruin the fox. I'm just hoping it'll poison it. That's what I'm trying to get him good at, is poisoning stuff.
Roll persuasion. I mean,
Don't care.
you're at the moment in a standoff where the dog that you're with is biting into the freshly caught fox that has passed by now. Its guts are basically spilling out as it's jawing into it. So what do? Your dog is
At
still
this point,
continuing, but
I'm not-
it's aware
I'm
of your
not gonna-
presence.
I'm not gonna pull it away because that would just, it's gonna incite some bad behavior. I'll let it have this. I'll just calmly sit down and wait for it to finish.
Okay. It takes its time, about 10 minutes, and it eats all the good parts. The kidneys, liver, and then it bites into the ribs inside of it. And it leaves a carcass of a fox.
At this point, I'm gonna give it a different whistle, I can't whistle IRL, so I wish I could show you guys, but just a different type of whistle to call it over, see if it gets that, and kind of beckon it towards me.
Okay, so by a whistle you mean a normal whistle or the purring again?
Just like a whistle. I'm trying to give
Okay.
it different commands, like come, stop, and then hunt.
Okay.
Those are the main three I'm trying to give it. And I know that's gonna be take a long time to do, so
You are not wrong.
Got a week to get some progress.
Yeah.
Did you guys already spend your week? I don't want to take all of
Yes.
the repeat
Yes.
time today.
We spent
4 days.
spent our-
Okay. I think this kind of shows my plan for what I want to do with him, and I kind of want to do this every other day.
Okay. So basically taking it hunting and then okay, so with this right now, it didn't really listen to the command.
But once
You
it's
you
done,
can
I'm just hoping it actually come towards me and not just chills.
you
I'm trying
you
to get it actually used to following me.
yeah, okay. So you can feel that the bond is slowly beginning to form between you and the animal. But it's not quite listening to you yet.
Okay, I'll just go up to it, slowly grab the chain, and since it's finished its meal, it's probably okay to follow.
Okay, yeah, it does follow after it's had its share.
Okay, we'll head back. That will be that day, and then, like I said, kind of just a repeat.
Okay,
Every other
so for every other day then. So that was first day, second day. So I need you to roll animal handling 2 times.
Okay. Fuck. Where's that nat 20 when I need it? Come on!
You're not seeing
Yeah.
much progress within those 4 days.
We've
Obviously, this
used
isn't
all of
towards
the
anything, but-
nat 20s.
Yeah, last session, 4 nat 20s in a row. Come on.
Oh my fucking god, I'm seeing that. What the fuck? Vista double 20s and then Ash double 20s. And you got a 20 not long before from Kialis.
Okay, so that was your 4 days. So we are.
You know why I'm not 20ing? I haven't rolled my athletics yet.
Oh yes.
Damn!
I think you're staying in a 10 range today, mate.
Oh, fuck me. I got my one. I got 2 above 20s, and those were just insane rolls, and no nat 20s. Even on shit I'm good at.
Oh, but that 20 was quite a valuable one.
You know why? The last time I played D&D was over a week ago, and I was playing. You know that level 20 character we made for the arena shit?
Yeah. You won
I was
twice,
playing-
right? Yeah, so.
No, yeah. So the week following that, I was playing that same character at level 8 in a one shot,
Yeah.
and we got trapped in this room filling with poisonous gas with a wall shut because our fucking dumbass fighter broke the mechanism that opens it. So that DM gave us options for magical items we could take with us. We could either take multiple low level ones, two like one decent level one and a low level one, or one like really high level legendary one. I took a legendary one. I took a 9 life stealing longsword. Basically, if you crit something,
Yeah,
can
you
instantly
kill it
slay It's a
instantly.
mechanic.
Order sharpness.
I literally called a 20 to slice open the door with it. Literally said he's gonna raise it to his head, like, because I basically had to RP it out as he had two, like a really beat up katana, and then like this thing, which is basically like, you know, Sekiro Mortal Blade. And I basically called out that I was gonna use it, and then nat 20 the door. So I think that was me using up all my luck for like the year.
Yeah.
On a
It
door.
was hella badass though.
A clutch
It was
door.
badass as fuck though.
Clutch door.
Okay, so we arrive at the 5th day. So everyone, the lifestyle expenses, make sure you spend that gold or silver. And so, what did you want to do?
I already paid for, I think, the week worth of rations
Yo,
Okay.
for the dragon.
yes. So I'm curled up with Cinder in the morning,
It'd be cool.
resting. I'm starting
Oh.
to get tired. Trying to keep up with her this past week. Showing her around, showing her what I know. But it's going well, and I'm happy.
I'm curious because both of our pets are technically like chaotic evils. Will they get along?
Absolutely not.
Probably not, no. But
Do we want to try?
so far, my little dragon's just been baby.
I'm baby.
So, first thing in the morning when you wake up is you hear the door close. And there's like trickling of water through the pipes. That ends pretty soon after you've woken up. And Thaddeus is outside stretching in nothing but his like casual clothes, wearing boots. And he's just stretching, getting ready, and like using his cane as like an assist to stretch.
You guys can feel free to help with the dog situation too. What the dog doing?
Uncle would walk out
Wait, there's a dog.
and
No.
would do the same thing.
I will try and help what little I can, but
Well, you
I
have
basically-
you have funny charisma stat. I don't.
I also have
So-
Cinder, who I don't want anywhere near dog.
True.
So, what is Strife doing at night? Like, where are you sleeping?
Probably just the floor.
Alright, make a perception check for me.
Simply perceives.
Nope.
Never mind.
Out of the loop.
Is it a smell or is
Dang.
it a?
It's not a
hearing?
smell. It's not
a
hearing.
thing
It's
either.
based off sight.
Damn, I don't have advantage on it. God damn it. He's out of his element, okay? He's not used to being out of danger.
True. Well, don't worry. We'll thrust ourselves towards it before long. Almost time to go.
Where are we going after this anyway?
The crater.
I'll put on my black breastplate with the pauldron attachment.
Ooh. You guys like my new hat?
You have a new hat. Yes.
Also, you know what it looks like when you char a bone? I kind of want to do that to it. Like, I kind of just want to like keep like maybe like spend like an hour one day just putting fire on it.
Awesome. It's gone from on your back to on your head. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And I still have the 2 other bones if you guys want to do anything with them.
Ooh, I have to craft something. I also have leather.
Since they're small right now, they could temporarily be turned into like armor for your dragon.
Ooh, could possibly be. I gotta go to that painter. I'd like to have them paint my armor black, or get my armor after it was painted black. I remember paying for that.
My dog is so weird. He loves sleeping on his dog bed. So I just moved it to my bed because I'm like the only person home right now, and he's now sleeping on my bed on his dog bed.
No. Nice.
Double the comfort.
Yes. The squishiest.
He loves that bed way too much.
Yep, and I'm currently just waiting for the first person to leave the tower.
Alright, I finally...
With dog, we're going on stroll.
Okay.
Are you keeping the dog inside or are you keeping it outside?
No.
I thought we had a cage built inside.
There is a cage, but there is a concern with a curious baby dragon.
Fine, I'll sleep outside with it.
Just like attach cloth over Dunkel's hut to
Yeah,
make like a little canopy.
Yep,
Yeah.
between Dunkel's hut and the tower, there is now the strife and dog spot. We all have our own little cubby areas.
Literally, like, I think literally everybody here has a pet.
True.
This is true. This is
I'm
D&D.
I'm
So-
waiting for the dog token to show up in my... The day that comes is the day I'll be super happy.
So, who between Ash and Strife is first to leave the tower? I mean, to wake up, I guess, and be
Wanna roll
out.
for it?
I'm probably a little bit later in the day because I gotta put on my armor and stuff.
Okay. I guess me.
All right. So you come to see both Thaddeus and Dunkel stretching, I guess.
Outside?
Aerobics.
Okay.
Thaddeus is in a dress shirt that has the sleeves rolled up, and like slacks, and like the buttons of the shirt isn't done up the whole way. And he just sort of glances over because like your snoring just suddenly stopped. Good, you're awake. Hit me.
Strife is gonna look at you, crack his knuckles, then his fists, make sure his dog is still sleeping, and walk up to you.
Thaddeus, as you're walking up, sort of like does like a quick look up to like try and remember what exactly he was supposed to do. Nod briefly and then reach into his cane as he normally does. But as like he pulls out the ice, he just sort of crushes it into his chest, and the armor that he normally has appears, but it's spiky and somewhat feral.
I'm gonna cock my head at it and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious do you want this punch?
Hit me with your best shot, kitty. And I cast it at 3rd level. Just
Okay. I just applied all my buffs.
Yeah.
Crimson Right included. Since you're just standing there and taking it, do I get advantage or is it a normal hit?
yeah, sure. Have your advantage.
18 hits, right?
Yep.
9
As I
plus 1 fire.
So 10 damage.
I think that's also plus 3?
13.
13, 1 fire.
So you notice the armor that he placed on himself, but the magic that he was using sort of drifts off of his hand slightly, and you recognize this as like a ward that he has quite often, and it's blocking damage. You slash and you feel like it's, pretty solid hit. It just sort of gets caught by the bubble, and you
Huh.
you rend most of it, and then the connection to the armor and this bubble reacts, and the ice bursts out in spears and daggers and weapons of all kinds that pierces back into you, dealing 15 points of cold damage.
He's gonna immediately sink back.
And then all of the ice retracts back into the armor.
I don't have any form of save for that.
No, it's a reaction to damage I take from melee attacks.
I can't dex save that or con save that.
Nope.
Damn.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I haven't been hit that hard in forever. He's gonna look at you, then look at his hand. It's literally been stabbed 4 times.
It works.
So
You're gonna want to save that for someone a lot stronger than me.
I kind of open the door after hearing a different but somewhat unique sound of the ice wrapping around the body. Just think, I see you got that working.
And it's completely unscathed.
You're gonna look at the dripping, flaming blood coming off of his hand.
Oh god.
He's gonna shake it off, and all of the wounds are gonna immediately cauterize under the heat.
I do feel insanely cold though.
It
Oh, boy.
does.
This ought to warm you up. Okay, where is it? I'm gonna hit you one more time for good measure.
11.
Don't worry about the just the bonuses. I'm just fucking hitting you because that hurt a lot.
Here's the thing.
Problem with that. It blocks again.
So, the 1 damage that you deal to the ward is enough to break through it. However, you make
Ooh.
connection with the armor that's on him, dealing 10 damage to it.
This stays at the level it was cast. But...
Yeah. And you take another 15 points of cold damage as
Fuck, you're kidding?
as you rend the ice off of his chest. It forms into little sharp daggers that connect back to the armor and stop your claw from continuing, but digging into your hand with your own momentum. And there's a very brief pause before more spikes of ice shoot out into you.
And you're still unscathed?
Still unscathed.
He's
This
gonna
is
pull out
insane.
his other hand and be like, I don't think I can hurt you.
Don't feel bad. That was most of my protection gone.
Yeah, if you...
So you're,
Morning!
You're a
This
two,
is a horrible way to wake up.
you're a 2-hit wonder, huh?
Well, the 3rd hit will still hit you back. But it will hurt me, so please don't.
Fair enough. He's gonna shake all the blood off that hand. It's gonna cauterize itself, and then he's gonna sit back for a second so that he can regain all his stuff. He just needs an hour of short rest. He'll be back up to 100.
My 3rd level spell for the day is gone. I have to use the other 3rd level for the tower.
Good to know I don't need to defend you as much anymore.
I don't think you've ever had to.
Why did I wake up to you two mauling one another?
I told him to hit me. And he seemed way too excited, I'll be honest.
Well, I know you're not stupid. You wouldn't ask me to hit you if you couldn't take it. Now, the second one was actually trying to hurt you.
And he just sort of starts shaking his arms and brushing the ice off of him as I'll, I guess, dispel armor of Thaddeus.
So, you know how my punch was really hot and your armor is really cold?
Mm-hmm.
Passion, you know that reaction that really hot things have to really cold things, and vice versa?
Are you talking about an explosion or just immediate burst of fog?
I mean both. I don't think we were quite at those temperatures
Yeah,
for an explosion.
I
But
mean,
for fog,
yeah,
maybe.
for
Like,
fog definitely.
I could see that creating a lot of either cold mist or hot steam.
Ooh.
It'd probably be more mist. This is a 3rd level spell versus your, what is it, D4?
Right.
Or is it a D6?
What level does my Crimson Right upgrade?
I
Can't
think
remember.
5th.
Fifth. Yeah, so when I get my, do I really want to throw in? Do I really want to do it? Hold on, let me see.
But yeah, so it's probably more of a cold mist that's now around us. Thank you again. It's good to know that this works.
True.
Don't kill each other. Oh. Hey, Cinder.
No, it's a 7th level when it evolves into the Stoic Rite. Oh no, it turns into Primal Rite at 7th and a Stoic Rite at 14th. I will never reach the 14th.
Oh.
Any plans? That was it.
All right.
I'm done for the day.
Didn't we have a giant gem to sell or something?
I don't know if there's anyone willing to buy it.
True. We might have to wait until we get to rain for that. But I still need to see what's in that crater.
Okay, so should we just quickly run? Well, maybe not run through, but just go over what would happen in these last 2 days of your downtime.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so Thaddeus, your orders are ready to be picked up,
I'll stop by the silversmith.
and you get the item.
Thank
Without-
you again.
Oh fuck, there was something I forgot that I was talking to Thaddeus about. I didn't know if they could do it here, but this is just like food for thought that I wanted to throw out.
Yeah, what was it?
Some kind of item. It could be a gauntlet, a ring, anything that basically has the effects of a point blank fireball when I use it, and it could be like once per day, once per whatever.
Yeah, it would have to be enchanted by somebody because
Right.
magic is very rare.
We searched this town for any sort of magic
Yeah,
last session, and there was nothing.
When
yeah,
I heard
rain is
Boulder
probably
from
the only one.
Thaddeus, I thought maybe like he had some magical me here, but that's just something that my character really wanted. Ah.
Nope. Purely physical items that I've ordered.
Okay.
Though one of them. So I stop by the silversmith, pick up the item. Thank you. In Dwarvish. In like the most broken Dwarvish.
Yeah. She smiles as she did in the first time, but this time a bit of a chuckle comes out. And yeah, she hands you the item, and you're good to go.
Does it look like it's the correct size?
Yeah, it looks like what you envisioned.
Exquisitely done. Cannot thank you enough, and I'll place another like 2 gold
Well,
on
thank
a
you.
counter.
She accepts
Oh.
and sees you out.
I'll do like a nod, like a sort of quarter bow, and then leave.
Okay. Next to the goldsmith.
The goldsmith.
Okay, so you arrive at this half-open ground floor, or like mostly open ground floor that's holding the building above it, space, and you see this overly enthusiastic dwarf. Ah, it's yeah. So, I got what you wanted, and I do say myself, that's a piece of art.
I'd love to see it.
Here we go. And he turns around, and from one of his like cupboards, he pulls out actually a wooden chest that he hands it to you.
Like sort of place it and then open the chest.
Okay, and you open the chest, and it's just wooden chest with a pillow, a red pillow inside of it, and then on the pillow, you see the gorgeous rose that you gave to him, covered in this platinum metal, just barely shining, and then you see the faint reflections as you look at the flower itself, the petals, and each petal has individual piece of the gem that you've given to him placed upon it, and then some of these also have the moonstone that you've given placed upon them as well, as like this beautiful crown of decorations of purple and like this bluish white. And then in the middle, you see the pearl that you use to cast the identify spell. It's just placed in the middle, like the cherry on the cake. It's simply magnificent.
I'll pick it up gently by the stem and
And
like sort of place like my arm in a way for like a fencer would,
okay, yeah, I see.
and then I'll just do like a little flourish.
Okay, would you like
And
to roll
I will
performance for it?
sure. Let's let's go performance. It's a 13.
13.
I
Yeah.
meant to roll normal, but it's fine.
So the flourishing posture that you're presenting,
And I will
and
just flourish enough where like a cut in reality appears. And Oswald, who has been with Dunkel this whole day, his eyes glaze over, and the bluish white that you normally see turns into like a dull brown. Dunkel.
Eh.
And opening or like sort of cutting through and pulling open the rifts, a figure of blue and white wearing a suit made of what looks like feathers and snow, like pure white suit, slicked back white hair that's tied into a ponytail. Very short figure, sort of like steps through. Well, it's about bloody time.
and as that happens, you see the complete shock on the Smith's face. Hey, what are you doing here? You. And he starts looking around, and you do too, and you see there's just gathering of people looking around and whispering to one another, shocked as to what they are seeing before them. Hey, man, you should
And
really not cause the scene like that here.
Oswald will kneel before me, like realizing the situation. I thank you very much for this gift that you've created. I don't really know how to explain, but this is very important.
I completely understand. You
And
really.
I will hand 5 gold coins to him.
Okay. Like he stands a distance away from you, so you cannot hand it to them, and he doesn't seem to be willing to approach just yet. So you can like leave it on the side. There's like
I'll close the chest and place them like on top or something
Okay.
in like a neat little stack. I'll nod to him, then I'll look to Oswald and I'll wave my hand and he'll just disappear, and the owl will have his eyes return back to the blue.
Okay. So the Fae that you just summoned disappears. Or what was it?
He was Fey.
Yeah, no, but so the Fae remains or disappears? And Oswald goes back
It
to...
like dissipates in like ice and snow that quickly like melts and fades away.
Okay. And then Oswald, that stayed with Danko, is no longer with glowing eyes.
Well, he is now, but when he was summoned, he was not.
So did he disappear?
No, the owl stayed. Just the eyes went dark.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Um,
I'll
the
nod
dwarf,
once again.
after the moment of shock, he walks up to you and like kind of forcefully grabs you by the hand and like pulls you closer as to like wanting to tell you something in secret. All right. I made this item for you. I didn't really expect this. It's impressive, but you really should not be exposing yourself like this. And as he says that, you hear a rustling of metal as the guards are approaching. What is going on in here? And is everyone with you? Ash, are you with Thaddeus?
I want to say yes, but I also know that I wouldn't be heading into town much. Mostly guarding over Cinder.
Okay. So Thaddeus, you're alone on that? Or Strife, are you with him?
Looks like alone.
I guess alone.
Dang.
You
Don't even have Oswald.
recognize the voice, although you've never seen this person, unless Oswald described him to you. It's
Yes, he would describe.
so it is the same guard that approached your house, Verdek. He walks up to you with two guards on his side, by his side. So, what was that you just did exactly? I thought I told your friend that you should be wary with what you're doing around this space. And he looks around and sees the crowd. Alright, people, there's nothing else to be seen here. You can leave now. And you see as the crowd starts like shakenly walking away. Some people still looking over their shoulder just to see what's gonna happen here.
Are you telling me that it's not safe here?
Listen here, pal. It's not that it's not safe, it's that people are unsafe around you.
I beg to differ.
Look around. How many of your people do you see around here? How many people do you see around this part that are of your kin?
Are you shaming me because I'm human?
I'm far from shaming you. I'm simply stating that, despite the situation that we are in and the age that we are in, this town remains mostly dwarven, as people keep to themselves. People keep to their kind. As such, we try to avoid any conflicts, especially when it comes to other races. We want to keep this town mostly clean, although, and he starts pointing to the streets, which are not the cleanest. But we want to keep it safe, mainly. So just for your knowledge...
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How much do you know about magic? Are you familiar with the term abjuration?
Would life I said yes.
Abjuration magic is the magic known to protect.
Hmm.
That is my school of focus.
And I greatly appreciate your knowledge within the magic. But like I said, you should be wary of what you're doing around these parts. Did your friend, what was his name? Asher? Did he not tell you what I spoke to him about?
Said be wary. Not causing problems.
Would the hour have passed since that whole scuffle between me and Thaddeus?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say you got your short rest, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna expend however many hit dice it takes to regain 30 fucking health.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Wait, did you lose that much HP?
Yep, he hit me
Yes.
Holy
twice.
shit.
I
Took
hit
30
him
damage.
twice and lost half my health.
I'm still
And-
unscathed, by
And
the way.
because it was cold damage, my resistance meant nothing.
I am both impressed and afraid of the fact that I taught you that spell, Thaddeus.
But
Yep.
here's the thing: that third hit, if I crit, would have killed him. It would have knocked him out.
No, no, I was still untouched, and you would have taken another 15.
No, you said how much temporary hit points did you have left?
I had 1 temporary hit point left from my barrier during the second hit, which meant that I had 5 left on my armor.
And I
After
can
it,
damage both of those with the same attack, right?
no, you have to break through the barrier before you can hurt my armor.
But what about the secondary health pool? I can hit that and your health at the same time, right?
Nope. You have to break through the second, and then I'll take whatever's left.
He's stacking up, basically.
Yeah.
He's playing stacks.
Okay. So
Anyway.
I hit you 3 times, and the 4th time I can actually hit you. And if that 4th hit crits, then I can potentially severely wound you. But at that point, I've taken like 3/4.
You've taken 45 damage based off of our test.
I'm gonna say there needs to be some kind of save for that.
It's Armor of Agathis. It cost me a 3rd level spell slot.
Just remember, temporary HP does not stack, actually.
Yeah, but the barrier's not temporary hit points.
Oh.
Yep. Own entity.
All planned for.
Yep.
Okay. Getting back to reality.
Anyway, I would, if I've already healed, I'd probably walk by to see what's going on.
I mean, you're during downtime. You really don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So, what is your name?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Thaddeus, I am Ferdic.
I'll actually produce. What was it called again? We got a letter. It was a letter of recommendation.
Yep.
It was sealed, right?
Yes, it was sealed, yeah.
I'll produce that.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I had a note. Yeah, I have it right here.
Oh, I just wrote from Mayor. Oops.
There is a whole message to it.
Or 6 silver X. So like I'll produce it and I'll like. Oh. Wow, we really should have opened this, huh?
Okay, so he opens it. Well, Thaddeus, I see you have some contacts in the higher nobility. But like I said,
Indeed.
your knowledge in the arcane or whatever you people call it doesn't concern me. All concerns me is the peace of this town. And as such, I would like to keep it that way without any extraordinary happenings within these premises. So if you could please restrain yourself from doing any such magic displays in public, I would greatly appreciate that.
Do you not have entertainment where you're from? Which I imagine is here.
Entertainment such as?
Someone coming by, playing music, juggling.
Of course we do. Everyone loves some
What makes
jolly
this any
time.
different?
It's unknown to the people. People
So,
are afraid of things they don't know.
have you ever seen a card trick?
Yes.
That's unknown. Do you know how it's done?
Well, not myself, but I'm sure there's some kind of trickery involved with it that doesn't involve any magic.
You realize magic's not difficult. It's the same sort of theory. You learn how it's done, you can do it. I'll like make a very harmless sensory effect on my hand of like just like a flower blooming.
Okay. Can you roll persuasion for me?
Sure. Real good at these. That was sarcasm, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. I was in fact not good at these.
Casually rolls a 13.
I admit that this doesn't appear to be harmful in any way.
I'll even like swing my hand through it. No effect.
And that's great, but just like I said, just please restrain yourself from doing such magics in the public. For
Thaddeus
your
will
and my
actively roll his eyes.
peace.
So you're
I'm
telling
simply
me
testing a item that I had commissioned, and it worked.
Well, that's great for you, but did you have to really do it right here in the middle of town?
When you buy a new sword, do you just put it in your hilt and walk away? Or do you swing it a couple
Well, that's
times?
different.
It's not. Not even a little bit.
Everyone can wield a sword, can they?
They can hold a sword.
So they can wave it through the air.
What's the difference between a child and a soldier? Hmm?
What
One
is it?
knows how to swing the sword.
But it doesn't say that the other one can't. One just do it with finesse, with purpose. The other one just does it because it has an item in its hand.
If I handed you a wand that when you swung it, unleashed a ball of fire,
Present me with such an item,
you
and I will
wouldn't.
grant you the privileges of casting whatever magics you desire within this town.
I will actively think back to see if we have any items like that.
My face smiles, but I'm not gonna say anything.
There's. You know what? Until I present this item to you, I'll restrain. But I will make you eat your words.
I will look forward to the day that you do. But for now, let's just keep it quiet.
I'll like do like a little dramatic bow, like, oh, of course, my lord, kind of thing. And as I like wave my hand in front of me, like sparks that make no sound at all appear.
He rolls his eyes. Well,
Not even sound.
I bid you a great day, Thaddeus. And he turns around on his hill and begins to walk from whence he came.
The mage hand slowly floats up from behind him and is giving the middle finger.
You see a young adult standing on the corner just watching what happens, and when he sees the middle hand he just like giggles to himself, and then he makes eye contact with you and like
I just give him a
writes himself
smile
up.
and a wink, and I walk away.
He very awkwardly like smiles back, and you can tell that he's kind of excited to witness whatever he's witnessing. All right.
But yeah, that's that's it for me, I guess, on this day.
Okay. Is Strife here?
Yeah, I'm here.
You wanna roll your animal handling for this day? Okay.
Damn, Daniel, 2.
You continue to not see much progress within this time period.
Alright.
That was
We
not
lost
cool.
butter.
At this point, probably, if I keep doing shit like this for a month straight, I'm gonna gain proficiency with animal handling.
No.
Yeah, just gain proficiency out of this.
Yeah, just training animal handling at this point.
What the dog doing? I'm surprised more of us don't have it. Like, how many of us have animal handling?
Thaddeus has a Fey companion.
Wave. I
He,
have animal.
he has
I'm
a
a ranger.
dragon.
I have a Does animal handling work on dragon?
I think it doesn't because they have to have a like intelligence modifier making them non-sentient. Or sentient but non-intelligent. Sorry, non-intelligent.
Yeah, the intelligence does play some kind of role in this.
Okay. So I am continuing to show.
So you will have to like not animal handle but deceive, persuade.
Okay,
Yes.
Ash.
Yes.
Asher. It's first, yeah, no, it's fine. So, as you're having a jolly time with your dragon on among the grass, and you're showing it around and all that, you spot movement some distance, but not too far away, within the grass. There's a slight ridge, and you can see something, and the grass is moving.
Wait, so where am I right now? I'm confused.
You're hunting with your pet, are you not?
Oh yeah, because this is the 5th day.
All right.
It's more of like a training hunting than actual hunting.
So, I'm going to scoop Cinder up and plop them on top of my head, and
Wait, how
summon
big is the dragon?
my weapon.
It's like the
That's
size of a cat.
Is very small. So I
Okay.
know they grow quickly.
The movement was about like 20 feet away from you.
All right. Going to try and sneak up.
No,
in
sorry.
My...
Make it more. Make it double that. About 40 feet.
Okay.
That would be too close.
Well,
Welcome back. Yeah, so what's your move?
Move is going to try and creep closer / see what it is.
Okay, roll perception for me.
All right. Perception of the day. 8.
8.
Simply perceives.
You begin to make your way towards that movement.
Mhm.
And about 25 feet towards it, you suddenly see what looks to be tops of heads moving in the grass. And then suddenly you hear, "Oh no, he's coming our way! Run!" And you see 2 dwarf boys, stand up and start running away. But you also see a third
Oh.
person laying in the grass. And this person stands up a bit slower and shouts, "Wait for me!" And after about 2 steps, she trips. As you notice, it's a young girl.
Oof.
And she trips and then just stays on the ground.
All right. shit. Kind of stop dead in my tracks after I realize it's kids, and the weapon kind of fades back into the shadows as I try to keep my distance, but speak out at least in common. It's all right. Sorry about the scare.
Please don't hurt me.
I won't. Are you okay?
She is
Hey, Pop.
slowly picking herself up. Are you approaching any at all?
I kind of stay 10 feet back and like lower to the ground a little bit to just make sure I don't look too hostile now that I'm unarmed.
Okay. She stands up and then looks at you. We are so sorry. We saw this funny looking lizard on you with you, and we just hope that we could. I'm sorry.
You totally. Oh, you mean Cinder? I say as I take them off my head.
And she
Yes.
nods.
I swear to God,
Well,
if my dog attacks a kid, I'm gonna be so sad.
you're
Fucking-
welcome to try and pet them if you'd like. They're very young though, so be careful.
You see her eyes widen, and now you notice that the boys that escaped without her are standing about 30 feet away and just watching.
Alright. I very gently, in both my hands, lower Cinder to about their height
Okay.
at their shoulders, and then like offer, reach out. Be very, very careful. This is a tiny dragon.
A dragon? Where did you find it? And she's gonna reach out, and I'm gonna actually roll d20 for her for. That's animal
It's either
handling
really
for
good or
her.
really bad. Oh, okay.
Hey.
Like that's either really good or really bad.
She's rolling for me. She's rolling better than me, I meant.
Better than you meant to say.
Yeah. Fucking. This is my animal handling if I ever interact with the dragon.
Okay.
Fucking kidding me. Okay.
Okay, so what happens here? I'll leave it up to you, Ash.
So I know that Cinder can't speak quite yet, but can somewhat understand Draconic. So in Draconic, I kind of gently say, young friend, and try to let them very gently touch Cinder's back.
Okay. So
Though
she reaches out and attempts to do it. Any reactions from Cinder? Oh, he just let it happen.
she kind of flinches a tiny bit at the touch. Whether if it's closer to the neck, the more they kind of wiggle. But after realizing it's not a threat at all, and possibly realizing it feels a little nice, they kind of just sway back and forth. It being a little bit of extra warmth as well.
Okay. She pets it gently. Wow. Its skin is so rough.
They are very tough little creatures. And Cinder here.
So how old is it?
Only about 4 days.
What? It's that
Mhm.
young?
And one day it'll be as big as a house.
And she like takes a step back. No, it won't.
For real.
Well, I really want to see it.
Well, tell her your name, and maybe you'll get to say hi once she can speak back.
My name is Renris. Nice to meet you. And she like looks with a question in her eyes, like as to what the name was.
Cinder.
Ha! It's nice to meet you, Cinder.
Maybe we will be back this day. Maybe we'll be back one day.
I would really like that. Okay, I will go. I have to return home with my friends.
Yes, the ones sheepishly gawking back there.
Yeah, they are not the bravest, you know? Horrible boys. They always leave you behind. And she
Ah,
scoffs at them.
maybe they'll be up to the task one day. Anyway, my name's Asher. Apologize for the scare once again. Have a good day.
Okay,
Say,
nice to meet you, Asher and Cinder. My name's Renris.
Renris.
So bye. And she starts running away and
Bye.
waving towards you. And then when she gets to the boys, you see the boys are like shit, like literally shaking, like gesturing with their hands. Like, what was it? Like, you could literally hear their conversation, even though you can't. They are just like, what did you do? Did you get bitten? Or like, well, you know, just kids being kids.
Yeah.
And then she turns around once more, gives you a quick wave, and then they start running towards town.
I wave back and then I'll just let Cinder watch other children exist.
Okay.
And where are you?
Apparently in the fields outside of town.
Close to the house.
Yeah. Not too far from the tower. Afterwards, I'd go back, let Cinder go back inside, plop them on their nest with their little toys for a little bit, and stare at my mushroom plant.
It's growing slowly, but it is.
And then, where's the horse I stole from the ranger?
I mean, it's grazing on the nearby grass close to the tower.
Okay. It will take a little bit of time to tend to them, make sure they're fed too. Feeding them hay. In case we ever get a wagon of our own.
Well, you do
And
have a
also,
wagon because you had two wagons, one stolen from the uh
uh,
well, taken
yeah,
from the bandits, and the other
the
one,
bandits.
yeah, and then the other one that Horton took.
Those grass
So
bottles. Alright, so our wagon, kind of letting those horses graze, tending to them. That one I spend a little bit of extra time with, but I'm basically I'm in full ranger hours these days. Just
okay,
tending to the dragon, tending to the horses.
okay, just parenting all day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and anything that Danko is doing, or well, no, you're working on your stuff. You're working on your stuff.
Ooh, Dunkel's working on the wagon that day.
Okay, anything anyone would like to do that day, or we moving to the final day, sixth day. Sorry, 2 more days.
The last thing I'd like to do is I'd like to go back to the tavern.
Okay.
and I'd like to buy another bottle of the fancy wine for 16 gold pieces.
Okay.
The
And I'd
expensive top
also,
shelf.
yep,
Okay,
and
so now
I'll also buy a whole bottle of Tip the Miner. Trip the Miner.
okay, so first of all, are you taking Cinder with you?
No.
What are you doing with Cinder? Leaving
I guess
with
I'm-
Thaddeus?
I guess I'm reading another bedtime story.
If you would. We also managed to get interrupted the last time we tried to drink some of this stuff, so.
Honestly, I finished the bottle.
Well, I'll grab some more.
It's quite good. Never had this
Alright.
sort of thing, though I kind of prefer the cheap stuff.
Oh? Nope.
Expensive drink is... Honestly, it's kind of overrated.
It's overly pricey as well, so I'll find something good. So I can't drink too much nowadays. I've been busy. Alright, so I'll end up grabbing kind of cheaper stuff in that case. Still
Okay,
more middle of the road, but cheaper.
so you arrive to the tavern, and not as busy at the moment. You feel like it's about time when people are finishing their days and they will start coming into the tavern or in the next hour or so.
Mhm.
But you enter in and then you approach the table, and the dwarf keepess of the bar notices you and recognizes you from before. Oh, welcome. What brings you here today again? Another drink, perhaps?
Just that. Thank you. Could I actually get a full bottle of Trip the Miner, as well as one other
Sorry,
middle shelf?
Did you just
Yes,
say you want a whole bottle of Trip the Miner?
a whole bottle of Trip the Miner, please.
Well, yeah. You got some balls on you, boy. Alrighty, let me just go and grab the bottle from behind. And she goes and presents not the biggest bottle, but about 500 ml. Uh, of clear glass with just like a crude label on it saying Trip the Miner. So she puts
How
it on the
much?
table. Alright, that would run you about 5 gold pieces.
All right.
And what brings you here, if you don't mind me asking? And I don't mean this inn. I mean this town.
Well, we've been traveling for a while.
Trying
Lost
to
some
hunker down
things.
somewhere?
Nope. We've got a letter that we're trying to take Shireen, but before
A
that
messenger.
even. Yes. I also need to find out what's in that crater.
In the western crater, you mean?
Yeah.
Ah, and what's exactly your purpose there?
Honestly, don't know.
And you notice a person sits down next to you. You've noticed them before. They were sitting by the bar, but they moved chairs to sit closer to you. All right. Get me a beer. On him, and he points towards you, and you can see an older dwarf. Well, not really older, but like middle-aged dwarf with like slowly streaks of gray in his hair, long, like greasy hair, and beard, and you can only see his right side.
Hello.
You are you gonna pay for him? I think she's asking you.
Sure.
Very well. And then she starts pouring the beer. So you said you're heading to Western Crater.
Though I'm not exactly sure what I'll find once I'm there.
Would you like to find out? And the beer gets placed in front of him. A bit of the foam spills on the side of the tankard, and he grabs the whole tankard and just downs it in one go.
How many drinks is it gonna take?
And just slams it down on the table. I'm not that expensive. Don't worry. Another one. And he winks towards the barkeepers.
Bye.
And she just nods in negation, but pours him another one. After confirming with you that it's fine.
I nod again.
So what are you exactly looking for in the such famous place as the crater?
I don't know what it is. I just know there's something there.
Oh, there is something, let me tell you that. There is a whole lot of something. Fucking things.
What do they look like?
And he turns around to you. I tell ya, if I saw more. And you see as his left eye is literally gone. There's just this black hole with the flesh around it rotting. Literally just like dark skin with kind of navy purplish coloration to it. Just necrosis setting in.
Ugh.
Yeah, I bet you like what you fucking see, huh? That's what I got from going down there.
Down where?
All right, 3 more on him.
Okay.
3 more for him.
He downs another beer.
Why were you there?
I used to work there. It's a mine. Of all the things that it could be, it is a mine. We've expanded within it, and it does hold plenty of resources. Have you even visited that place? I wouldn't assume they would let you in.
No. Do you know how I could get in?
Well, unless you're a worker there, or a guard that's standing post around the vicinity of the area, you would have to sneak in. Just like I did that one night.
How'd you do it?
I tumbled down a slope. Well, you see, this place has levels to it. There's first, second, third, which are main mines, and then there are fourth and fifth, which we've expanded to. And the fucking fifth, let me tell you, that's a ride. It costed me an eye. That's how good it fucking was.
An expensive ride indeed.
Indeed. So, the fifth level is basically closed off. It's off limits. I was just too curious to let the opportunity slide by, of course. Stupid fucking me. And he gets another beer, downs that one. Fuck me, I love beer. I walked it in there. That place is a fucking maze. That I can tell you right now. I also
Have you?
came across corpses. One of them was holding something. A object with 6 sides of some sort. I just grabbed it quickly. And that's when the fucking thing attacked me. Gouged out
Whoa.
my fucking eye.
Have you had that treated at all?
I did. Didn't seem to help. My only medicine is this. And he lifts up the beer. Now that, let me tell you, 5 or 10 of these, and you're feeling no pain. Well,
Point.
in retrospect, you can't feel anything, but that's the price I'm willing to pay. Anyways, whatever resides within these parts, at the very bottom of the crater, it doesn't seem to be very friendly and very natural, if you could call that.
See.
Brings dead things back to life, is the best I can describe it.
No. No.
Don't like the sound of that. Is that part of why people are so wary of magic around here?
I would assume that's a part of it. But whatever this thing was, it as if puppeteered that dead body that I found.
Ugh.
And the only thing I managed to grab was that goddamn thing. And the fucking corpse managed to grab my fucking eye. And he like scratches underneath it, and you can actually see as the skin like peels off and it like lets this gory sound of like peeling as he scratches
Ugh.
it. I
You
don't
know-
get grossed out now.
So, I have two things to say in response. First, would you like me to try and magically heal that a little bit?
Well, I give it a shot if you got something, though I'm not hoping for much. You fucking
Ah.
weirdo.
Second, the six-sided thing. Was it this? Did I pull out the key?
On Moradin's beard, you fucking bought it from this grass bottle.
That I did.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I brought. I'm happy you found it appealing.
Ugh. I haven't even drank the tip of the minor yet. Don't say as I try to put my hand near their. I could try to prepare to heal, like cast cure wounds on the eye a little bit.
Okay.
This won't fix it at all, but it might stop the necrosis. 1 second. I kind of gently place my hand just above their brow. Kind of try to put the healing energy into that area.
Okay. You using the spell card?
Yes. Probably won't do anything too much, but
Okay. 6. You see as the parts of the skin that were kind of like jaggedy, and you can see that it's wet from just the necrosis and the bodily fluids that are exorted from this space. It does help. It heals a bit, but the blackness doesn't subside or anything. Well, look at you. Being such a good Samaritan. Well, thank you.
It's worth a shot. You should probably take that to an actual cleric, though. Ugh. Thank you for the info.
Well, thank you for the beer. And then he grabs the last one. So you got him 4 beers in total.
Alright. What's the tab?
So that's 4 copper pieces for the mag. So 4 times 4.
Alright. 16.
So 1 silver piece and 6 copper pieces.
Alright. With that, I nod, pat him on the back, and say, I'll try and make sure this damn thing was worth it to you. I'll tell you what I find.
I will look
Gonna-
forward to your return, if you do.
Kind of wave a finger in the air, and then say, thanks again, both of you. And head on back.
Okay. Did you get the wine? Because you didn't ask for wine.
Medium wine.
Okay. They don't have the expensive stuff that Thaddeus bought.
Okay.
And by medium, you mean medium priced.
Yes.
Okay. So another 5 gold pieces for a less expensive one.
Alright. With that, I make it back to the group, and I'll tell them what I know.
You returned. The door is unlocked. Thaddeus has definitely fallen asleep, and the book that is like on his lap that has fallen over is The Cat and the Bird.
The cat and the bird. Aww.
About a cat that wants to be free like the bird, but lives in a house full of toys.
So, I will see you asleep, put the book, like, put a little sheet of paper in the book where you were at. You probably read through it, but
Yeah, the whole book
place
has
it on
been completed.
place it on the table neatly. Pet Cinder, notice you're out. I'll tell you in the morning. And then quickly look to see if Strife or Dunkel are awake.
I'm outside.
And I'm gonna use
Placing
Arcane Recover.
placing both bottles on the table very quietly, trying to not mess with you, basically.
Just
Alright.
kidding. I have advantage on hearing perception checks. I'm just kidding. That probably wouldn't pass.
Alright, so coming back out after seeing Thaddeus is out for now, and petting Cinder a tiny bit, but not stirring them too much. See you two up and say, "Hey, Thaddeus is out. Are either of you?" I don't know if I'd be hearing Dunkel just. What is Dunkel? What are you two up to at the moment in
So
your two tents?
he typed in that if you're going to speak to Danko about what you just learned.
Okay. So I knock on Dunkel's
So,
door, and also look
Before
to see.
entering in, you hear like a brewery happening and sort of like stitching.
Okay. Okay. Vista, Strife,
Yeah.
I need to speak with both of you.
He like looks over to you and then like kind of sits up and it's like, what do you need?
Dunkel will take some time to exit out. Finally, he does. What is it?
So, while I was in town, I ended up finding a little bit of information on the crater.
Is it haunted?
It's an accurate statement. Saying it's haunted is an accurate statement. The things that you saw before.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there's something that brings back the dead there.
Dunkel would look visibly worried after that statement.
I would look visibly like
I would highly recommend we not go there then.
I'm going to perk right up and be like how?
I don't know this full story, but a dwarf who survived an adventure down there lost his eye to something that's still dealt a permanent necrotic wound to them. We're gonna need to be on guard.
Yep, definitely don't want to go down there. Mm-hmm.
I know.
I'm gonna think back to my pride and ask, you said you can revive the dead there, right?
Well, just for your sake, Ash, if you need an escape route, I know the way.
Okay. I'll be counting on you, Dunkel. And I do want to say something to you in private as well.
Oh, okay.
Strife, get ready to hunt a few beasties before too long. Say as I kind of walk back behind Dunkel's hut, turn into a kobold again. I'll walk back in and go back to the table.
I'm just gonna look down to my dog, pet him on the head, and be like, "You hear that? We gotta hunt tomorrow."
Hello again, Mech.
Think about.
So, I know it's a lot to have to go back down there again. And my biggest fear is, at least for you, that you might see your old adventuring buddies used against you. Something's bringing them back. We might run into them, but it won't be them. And
Well, I have to be clear. They were pretty weak. They died. I still survived in the end. I'm happy about that, but I worry that they will do something in the future and ruin my reputation. That's what I was worried about.
I see.
Strife, you see Oswald just sort of like sitting on a part of the roof, and you swear you see him mouth the words reputation. What reputation?
You're afraid of them tarnishing your good reputation?
No, My bad reputation.
Oh, your infamy. I see. Well, in that case, we can prevent that by wiping them out for good, I guess.
Sounds fair.
So we'll make that another objective. That was really it, though. Just checking up on you.
Yep. He sort of stares at you.
I don't know if you drink at all.
Drink. I used to drink a lot, but not anymore.
Oh, all right. Well, if that's the case, then I can trust you won't drink this. I say as you see me pull out a vial. This is some poison I stole from the spiders down there.
Oh,
I ended up stealing some mandibles and extracted it. I know you've been making things lately. Maybe it can help.
it probably could help. Sort of starts rubbing his hands.
Yeah. Also,
Yep.
here's a mandible. Don't stab yourself with it. I haven't extracted this one, but wish you the best.
Thank you, Ash. I would really use this for future contraptions and gadgets. I'll give you
Heck.
one of them.
It sounds like a deal. I'd love to see
Now-
your work in action. So,
Now, I do want to say, what type of contraption would you want? A support or a lethal?
I'm thinking lethal.
Alrighty then. That's under my to-do list then.
Thank you. With that, I'll walk back out and go back into the house and lay down.
So fucking awkward. Fucking dumb.
As you like walk
gosh.
in, you notice that Thaddeus is like no longer in the same sleeping position, but he's still like eyes closed, but like in a very like uniform way rather than just rest.
Oh, kind of cocked my head slightly. Seeing if so, does it look like you're more asleep or in a trance of some sort?
More like a trance. But he doesn't like open his eyes, but he says, "Things that bring others back to life." I don't like the sound of that, if I'm being honest.
Nor do I.
It sounds disgusting.
I'm tired of dark caves as well.
I'm tired of gross.
Ay. I'm glad you heard. I was gonna tell you in the morning, but yeah. Looked like the wounds that dwarf suffered haven't healed for a long time.
Hmm.
And even after I cast Cure Wounds, it didn't look like it. It looked like it helped, but it didn't look like it helped as much as it should have.
Thaddeus just sort of like picks up his cane and points it towards the clock, still keeping his eyes closed. And like over the course of the next 10 minutes, the clock is just being rewound. back to 24.
What happens? How does this place crumble after the time runs out?
I've never watched. I really don't want to find out. At
Nor
least
do
not while
I.
I'm in it.
Yes. Let's say this one. Anyway, thank you for reading to Cinder. I got a cheaper drink. Although, don't touch this one. I say as I kind of trip the liner. I kind of almost bought it more as a poison.
You realize you don't have to buy poison.
I
And
don't.
like a mage hand will just float away and go upstairs, and then like you hear some rummaging until you swear you hear a sigh, and then the hand comes back with just the bag instead. And Thaddeus opens it up and pulls out a chalice. It is just get it real quick. It is a chalice made of silver encrusted with amethyst.
Wow. Where do
Don't
you find that?
ever drink out of this.
Oh.
Anything you put in it becomes poison when you drink it.
Wow.
How it works entirely outside of, well, drinking. I'm not sure. I don't know if you put water in and poison comes out, or simply touching the chalice makes it poison. Yeah.
Results vary. Alright.
You might be better with it than I. Just keep it away from Dunkel. I have no idea what he's planning, and sometimes it scares me.
That's understandable. I could see him trying to create an infinite poison machine. He just dicks this, straps this to some sort of water wheel, and just infinitely turns the water into poison. Or poisons a dam.
Begs the
You could-
question, if you put the chalice in a lake, and something drinks from the lake, does it die?
I might have to start testing some of this. But I'll be careful.
I'm nervous to have this.
Oh, give it to Dunkel.
Because the longer I have it, the more I want to experiment with it.
Alright, I'll keep it, and I'll keep it safe. I'll put it in one of the haversack pockets, just to make sure that Cinder doesn't get anywhere near it.
I will remove it from my inventory.
I will add it into the haversack's inventory.
It's a silver and amethyst chalice.
Imagine that with the alchemy jug.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Poisoner jug.
Exactly.
Mayonnaise of poison.
Oh my gosh. Alright. So with that, I very gingerly put it into the haversack's extra dimensional space. And get ready for the next day, I suppose.
Before the next date does come, Dunkel would walk out of his hut.
Okay.
Jealous, where's Thaddeus?
Well, depends. What time are you leaving?
Most likely the time where it's like the middle of the night.
So like 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, basically.
In his room.
Okay.
And once again, Oswald is on like the bird ledge, just watching.
Dunkel will then sort of silently speak out towards Oswald. Chicken!
It sort of like tilts its head and raises an eyebrow.
I want to make a gift for Thaddeus. Could you give me his robes? His favorite ones.
Fucking confusion and like humor that just shows on his face. He's like, you don't know exactly what an owl sounds like when it's laughing, but whatever you picture is probably close enough.
I
And
almost
like,
imagine it like sneezing and ruffling its feathers.
it like flies off and goes back through the window. And like a couple seconds pass as it's like rummaging around. And then like a dog that's pulling on a toy that's too big, like trying to drag it through a hole, is Oswald just pulling the robe out before getting
Dunkel is
like
reaching his
annoyed,
hands out.
before getting like super annoyed and flies back in. And then as like a fucking bullet comes flying through with the robe in its mouth, and then just drops it and lands on your hut.
Thank you. Dunkel would then grab the rope and pull it inside his hut, dragging it on the ground.
It's gonna be pissed.
And then, just for description wise, Dunkel is gonna bring out his leathers kit and then start sewing onto it for the next day, and then you will place it inside of a box.
No aesthetics going on, just leather on it.
No. These are aesthetics, but I'm just saying for just quick description. In case like Oswald is watching.
I mean, if you brought it into the hut, he's not really paying attention anymore. He's just waiting.
Okay. But yeah, you'll have to wait until the morning.
Did Strife have anything to do in the night?
Not really. He's really got nothing to do. Just feed the dog and chill out. If anyone needs anything from him, come ask.
All right.
So I'm assuming we can roll to the last day or final day of your downtime, 7th day.
Heck yeah.
You want me to roll it?
Roll for what?
The last stage? I don't know.
Oh, just roll on to the last day of the downtime.
No, I know what he's talking about. No, not just yet, because
Oh.
it takes half
Okay,
time
okay,
to do
okay.
one part, half time to do the other part. So you're still on the first part.
Maniacal laughing. Oh no.
Do you want me to roll dog?
Animal handling.
Dog
Yes, please.
handling? No, animal handling's cursed. I don't roll high, so now it's called dog handling.
Dog hand.
Okay, so this.
It is no longer called dog handling. It's
The
my
whole
money, dude.
That's actually so funny.
the whole day you're trying to get the dog to do the most basic of your commands, like even to just follow you. It's just laying on its ass whole day. It's not listening to a word you're saying or any motion that you do towards it. It just doesn't care.
Okay.
I will give them advantage for the day.
How will you
I'll
give him the
use my day.
advantage?
I will teach him different commands in Draconic, and also basically, I don't know how well it will apply, but I will give you a little bit of insights on how we trained young dragons to obey us, even though we're like 1/8 the size of them.
Simply
Okay.
rolls with advantage.
My
Give me a little rundown of what would you say to him.
So, this
Which-
isn't a magical bond like I'm used to. The basic concepts of controlling something that is as mighty as. Kind of look over at the dog. Still relatively mighty. The very basic steps to creating a bond with something that could rip off your head is to show not only that you can take them in a fight, even if you can't, but to show that you're more than just competition. You eat first, then they eat. You put them in a cage, let them try and fight its way out, and then open the handle. They won't understand that it's your intellect that let you do it. They'll think you're stronger than them. They don't understand how things work, so trick their perception into believing you're more powerful. They'll do everything that you say. From there, you can build a bond of trust, and even after they find out that they're a little bit stronger, they'll know you have been making the right choices all along.
Okay.
You can. There we go.
Hmm.
That's better. So you managed to get your dog to follow you for the day. But again, you don't seem like there's much progress happening.
Damn, that's a stubborn one.
I'm just dog shit at it, apparently.
Yeah. I can try and teach you what I know as far as in general. It'd probably take some time though. So, was between trying and struggling with Strife to get the dog to do much, and going back over to Cinder to read them a book, try to teach them what the meaning of friends is, and feeding them lots of fruit because that was the first thing they ever ate. That will be my day.
So,
Okay.
early in the morning, Thaddeus has woken up, had a bath, got up, looked for his clothes, realized something's missing, and notices that the owl window is open. Like, angrily climbs down the ladder, probably waking up Ash in the morning.
You'll see
And, like, as he's
Drunkle.
climbing down, the mage hand is opening all the locks on the door. And he fucking swings it open and then slams it and stomps over to Dunkel's house.
What are you doing now?
I imagine Strife also woke up to the sound of a slamming door.
Probably.
And you can see, like, the mage hand appear in his hand. And then he looks to the ground like he's really about to. And then he, like, knocks on the door with his other hand, just ready. Mr. Dunkel, are you awake?
No. Yes, I am awake. I have a gift for you. He opens up the door and is holding a dusty chest.
Strife definitely saw Thaddeus tense at the word gift and, like, a quizzical eyebrow raise. So what you see is Thaddeus, like, looking down at you with, like, concern and very, like, ready to fight.
And Dunkel has a very wide smile.
Thaddeus, like, moves his hand slightly and the mage hand will go and, like, open the lid.
As you open the lid, you see the interior nicely clean. It's so odd because, like, the outside was like it was like really dirty and off, but inside was like very clean. And then you see your robes in there, just nicely folded, and everything else like it was undamaged or unharmed.
The mage hand will just pick up the robes, like someone
feels a
would when
bit-
they pick up a dirty tissue.
As the mage hand picks up the robes, it doesn't have its usual weight. It's actually a bit heavier.
What did you do?
Mm,
And, like, he's using his hands now to, like, inspect, like, the sleeves and the robes.
As you pick it up, you'll see that there's a bit more cloth in it, basically wrapped around in the interior parts. So I've noticed that some of your spells were a bit hard to maintain, so I added a few modifications to help you out.
Go on.
So when it comes to focusing on spells that require a lot of attention, I think this robe can help you.
And, like, just sort of, like, tilts his head slightly. Maintain focus?
Mm-hmm. So usually when getting hit, you'll feel a lot more impact and it hurts and you just don't like the pain. I put a bit more thick layer into there so you don't feel it as much, so you can focus a bit more harder into what you really are worried about.
I'll gingerly put it on, kind of concerned.
It's actually quite soft.
Soft? It's
So-
heavy. It's thicker? Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what you have right there is called the Mind Sharpener. This allows you to succeed in any Constitution saving throw to maintain a concentration spell, and you have it 4 times a day.
Is it a D4 or is it just full 4 times a day?
And there you go.
Okay.
Dunko still has his smile staring at you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy this.
So, what do you think?
I'm, regardless of what its effect was meant to be, it's more comfortable. The weight and the thickness suggest that it's much warmer than it was. And that alone is good. And if it helps me maintain my concentration, then I suppose I should thank you, Vista. And I'll ignore that you stole my
Anticipating?
robes.
Oh, I'm lagging.
Uh-oh.
If we could hear that. Oh no.
This is such a wholesome moment, but it's so
Gosh.
funny as well.
That was a very important moment. There we go. Hello?
Hello?
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm not lagging anymore.
How much did you lose? Or how much did you get, rather?
So I got into the part right before you started complimenting him.
Something, something, something. I suppose I should thank you. And I'll ignore that you stole my robes.
I didn't steal it. I was borrowing it.
I don't like owing things.
Yeah, you should thank your Oswald, or yeah, I think that's the name of it. Yeah, you should thank they're the one that helped me out into giving you this gift.
As you're saying this, you watch as Thaddeus goes from like thinking to just slowly turning his head to look at Oswald. And then
Yep,
just snaps his fingers and he disappears.
Yep, he was really great help into giving you this gift and all. A really good person.
He just mumbles to himself like, that'll teach you. I'm gonna hope you fucking learn your lesson. And then like the mage hand goes up into the room because it can go up to 30 feet. Goes up into his room, and the staff, the shaman staff, is pulled out after like a bit of fumbling around because I can't actually see. It pulls out the shaman staff. It's not equal, but this is capable of doing the things that my cane can do. Specifically the crystal, though staff might be cosmetically pleasing to some.
This is a new walking stick.
Sure.
Nice. I've been needing a new one. And he shows you the quarterstaff. And upon that quarterstaff, you see an insignia.
What is the insignia?
Give me a second to look for it.
Well, do I know what it is, I guess is the question.
Possibly.
Roll history. Okay.
16.
I would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull it up. One sec.
There you go. I pinned the message. Okay, so you see an insignia of a bird and a leaf on a green background. Did he succeed it?
Well, you recognize it. You've seen it while you were in rain, or you were passing through rain. You don't exactly know what it means, but you've seen it.
Were you a member of something?
Remember where you get that?
Does Dunkel look uncomfortable about that question?
Yes. Very uncomfortable.
He looks like he's about to say something more, then closes his mouth. Never mind. Yes, use it as a walking stick. I don't care.
Awesome. He then hands you his quarterstaff and he grabs the walking stick.
He just gave me the quarterstaff.
The quarterstaff with the insignia as a
Okay.
trade.
Oh my gosh.
I'll walk off. I'll go back into the tower, I guess.
Dunkel begins whacking the stick everywhere. It's pretty sturdy. Yep, good walking stick. And Dunkel will continue with his special stuff
Okay.
for the day.
Alright.
Okay. Are you doing anything, Thaddeus, this day?
The only thing I will do now is draw like the insignia in like one of my books, and then I'll just put the walking stick somewhere else, just like in the corner of the tower.
Okay. Will remain a decoration for the time being.
So you can add the shaman staff. I'm pretty sure it's an arcane focus.
Okay, I'll replace that from the walking stick that Dunkel had.
Okay. Thaddeus, as the daily walk to town for food and whatnot, you notice there's a ruckus outside of the, probably you could call it town hall.
Yeah, all right. I'll bite. I'm in. I am wearing my robes because I have to break them in.
Okay. Not a problem. So you find yourself in the town square. Not the biggest place, but you see a crowd has gathered, and you see there's a wagon being pulled with yet again a canvas covering it. And as it goes by and you get a peek of what's inside, you see there's a person there laying and most likely unconscious.
How close do I get?
So there's like the parting between the two sides of crowds where the wagon is moving through, So you're literally next to it, and you get a peek inside.
Like within, say, 5 feet.
Yeah.
I snap my fingers as I like walk past it, and because I dismissed Oswald earlier, I wasn't planning for this.
Yeah.
I can have him reappear in the cart, and I'm
Okay.
just gonna keep walking and like duck into an alley and just sort of lean, and I'll see through Oswald's eyes.
Okay. So seeing through Oswald's eyes, you see there's a person inside unconscious, and similar to how you tended to Dexter when he had a fever, this person is unconscious and has like a wet pad on their forehead. But also what you see is their shoulder is damaged, and what appears to be like scratch marks, which are quite deep. The whole shoulder is bloodied, and the immediate scratches on his body appear to be blackened.
Oh,
Does it match the description that
Ash gave you.
Ash gave? Yep.
Yeah, it matches it. Not quite as severe as what Erm had on his eye, but it matches the.
Necrosis.
Yeah.
I'll very quickly come out of it, and like I'll start walking towards the cart, like in a direction, and I'll
Okay.
request Oswald go to the tower.
Okay, you also notice your friendly towns guard that you've had a conversation with after receiving your gilded flower. He's walking behind the cart, although not immediately behind. He's just like following and just mainly watching as to where the cart is going. And you see him just grab his buckle, grab the buckle on his belt of the armor, and then lower his head and just sigh heavily.
I'll walk up to him. I'll give a dwarvish greeting, though also broken. Though I'm getting a little bit better at it because I've had some practice.
Hey. Oh, Thaddeus. Pleasure to see you today. And not too bad. You could work on addiction a bit more. But keep at it. Can I
I
help you?
learned the language through a dictionary, if that helps. That cart.
Yes.
I can't pretend I didn't see what I saw in there.
Yes, I'm listening.
You have a bit of a problem here.
So much for my peas that I spoke about, huh?
Indeed. You have perhaps a bit of a budget, but no. What would
He
the word
squints his
be?
eyes.
Not enough manpower, as it were.
Manpower is not an issue. Although I don't know if I should be disclosing this information with the likes of you. I don't mean any offense, of
Likes
course.
of me. Well, think of it this way. I already know what's going on.
Is that so?
I have a desire, let's say, to go to the crater. And like I'm keeping this like hush so like people around us aren't really hearing.
I see. Can I have you roll persuasion for me?
Yeah, sure. Cool. Real good. That's 4.
And how would you go there? If you are so knowledgeable, I understand that you know that this place is guarded.
It's guarded. Now, something in there is causing problems. I know this much.
As much can be seen.
Sure. I am magic.
Go on.
But you want to keep the peace. And if you send any guards to go deal with the problem, and some of them don't come back, well, you'll have to answer some questions, and people will wonder, oh, weren't we at peace? Now, if a couple adventurers go missing, it's no skin off your back.
Ah,
And I believe we're done with all our preparations anyway. So if you allow us to go in, we deal with the problem. You forget
mm-hmm.
anything that we might be coming back with, so long as it's not harmful to you or the town. And you use some of that budget as payment. No one has to know, except, you know, government officials, all that.
There's more
Yourself,
to
maybe
you
a handful of guards.
than you give off. That is. I'll give you that. Okay. Let's say I would give you a pass to go into the crater. How much do you know of it?
Personally, not a whole lot, though I have a suspicion that there are at least two individuals that might know more.
Um, and these two individuals are acquaintances of yours?
Traveling alongside, yes, indeed.
He squints at you even harder, and then he lets Lewis and just smiles. Alright. If you manage to deal with this problem, I'll be much grateful for that. Here's the thing. There are 5 levels to that place. Now, he looks towards the cart that's right now about to disappear behind a building. That man was a miner from the 3rd level. You see, we've been doing fine. We've been fending off whatever came our way. Goblins, whatever other creatures may come from within the caves that we mine or that we come across. It's not a big deal. But about a year ago, when we came and managed to dig into the 5th level, there was something else. And ever since then, things kept getting weirder, more dangerous, if you would.
I'll sort of like cover my hand with my other hand, and I'll make a very tiny version of the key, and then I'll just like show it to him, but like keep it hidden from everybody else.
Okay.
Did any of the structures look like this that you broke into?
Here's the thing. I have personally never been down there. My main duty is to stay within the town's limits, patrol the grounds, make sure there's nothing sketchy going on. I don't know what this is, whatever you're showing to me right now. It is alien to me. But recently, I can't say how recent, but things kept escalating at a faster pace. Do you have time on your hands this day? If you don't mind walking with me, I can perhaps enlighten you a bit more.
Thaddeus thinks for a moment and then nods. Not a thing. Though this food does have to go back to the tower eventually, though I believe Ash can wait. I was almost gonna say Cinder.
Then, if you don't mind, follow me. And he dismisses one of his guards, so there's only one following you. But he's like a comfortable 10-15 feet behind you as to not disturb your conversations. He takes you outside of town, about 15 minutes walk before you get more than halfway towards the crater. And you can see it now closely as the ring around the crater is risen from the impact, and you can see guard towers set up around it, and some figures patrolling the grounds, as well as miners coming in and out of the crater, whether carrying the heavy bags of some kind of minerals or carts with what appears to be coal to like a HQ, if you would. But there's one odd thing that you notice, that the crater emits a faint, like dark blue smoke from it. Now, you see this. This is new. The recent stuff that I spoke about, that wasn't there, I would say 2 months ago. I don't know what changed. But that smoke is nothing that I am comfortable with.
How big is this crater?
It's large.
Like massive? Like
Yeah,
it,
you know
how long
you
would
know
it
those
take?
big sites? Like you
Yeah.
have a crater and there's like levels to it and it descends and they like expand in rings. It's basically this. That's what they did with it. So that was the
Oh,
crater
quarry.
that came impacting and left a hole in the ground, and then they started digging into it, excavating the whole place. So I'm willing to say half a mile in diameter.
No, a figure running at a speed of per round about 90 feet. That's how fast they can go. How long would it take for them to get to the bottom?
From the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Straight way down, or just following the paths that are already established?
Going down in a manner that wouldn't cause immense damage.
I would say a lot of rounds. I don't know exactly how many, but more than 10.
More than 10 rounds. Well, find familiar lasts an hour, which is why I'm curious. I mean, not find familiar, summon Fae. And these things that come out, that you deal with,
Yeah.
can you give me a description or a picture? Perhaps somebody was a sketch artist?
We don't have such things. You see, everyone who came across them, it's sudden. You could say they surprise people when they do attack. But whatever it is not one thing. Everyone says different things. Some say it was a weird goblin with an open ribcage. The other person I've heard said that it was, what was it? Some kind of weird skitterish animal that apparently when it touched the pickaxe it melted it into a pile of rust. But those things appear to be dead, and yet they are animated to some degree. That's what I got from the descriptions of them.
So, the gist of what we were doing why we're here. Where we came from was essentially the deep dark. We've come across a lot of creatures, and I'll open up my book, and I'll slowly flip from page to page, like the pictures of the creatures we fought, as
Are
well as
you
like the
are you,
descriptions.
are you telling me you've gone through Underdark? Is that what I'm hearing here?
I have.
He visibly scoffs in confusion. There
The creatures
is
there were
way
dangerous.
more to you than the eye meets. Did you know that is?
Yep, probably more than what you're suggesting.
Okay, if you claim to be as skilled as you can say, I'm willing to hire you. If you are able to go down to the very bottom level and find out where these things are coming from, of course, if you return, there will be a reward to speak about.
Now, before we go down there, I would like to know a bit more information. Perhaps a map? I've heard that it's a bit windy down there.
Make a persuasion check again.
I'm real good at these. Let's go.
Are we
Oh,
talking about math?
I don't think there's any recent maps of the space, or any maps that were created for the lower levels.
it's very inefficient.
Not to me, you have to brag. What I can give you is a permit that allows you to pass into the crater without any issues, and you'll be let through, guided if you need, to where you need to go. But I'm afraid that's the extent of my assistance for you. To you.
Well, there's a couple things to prepare, I suppose, though most of the heavy lifting has been done. Thank you. I will use this permit properly. Don't worry. I'm sure the problem will be dealt with, or at least partly. Can't say for sure what will happen.
Well, whatever you do, even if you are unable to deal with it, just come back alive. So, tomorrow, early dawn, meet me by the crater. I'll make sure you get through.
Alright. Well, I best inform the rest. Get them prepared for creatures that bring back the dead.
Or so they say.
Well, at least I'll have a new entry for my book. And I'll start filling in some of the details I've been told.
But it's going to be an interesting bet story.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. No.
And then I guess I'll return like a little while longer after Oswald does, who when he comes back like makes gestures that they should pay attention to him,
Okay.
and then like in the dirt with his talon will draw like a very poorly drawn cart, and then like an arrow pointing in the cart, and then kind of like a body with claws across him.
Hey, make performance for Oswald.
It's not gonna be great.
Dunkel
Watch
is
him
looking
roll
at
that
this height.
20. 11.
Dunkel is looking at this. Sucks.
It conveys the message upon a little deliberation over it.
Yeah, it's
Nat
like
20
a very square or very rectangle shape with two circles underneath, an arrow pointing to it, and then a stick figure with like scratches through it.
Nat 20s are not allowed today.
They are not.
Mm.
You've
No, we
exhausted
got
your
our use of them.
gauge.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there when you guys used them, and I'm
Mm.
suffering.
It seems to be that
No.
this
Party's
birdie,
responsibility.
this chicken, saw something inside of a cart. I don't know what it is.
Hmm.
Do you know what it is, Strife?
Hmm.
What Oswald is drawing?
No clue. Some dude getting mauled. I don't know. Is that me doing that?
Mm.
What's going on out there?
If only we understood the small bird. Oh,
Ooh.
hey Ash.
Hey.
Oswald came back with news. We're trying to figure it out. It's like guessing the drawing.
Oswald's playing a game at a time like this. Alright. I mean, I guess.
He glares at that comment.
Do you know what this is? He points to it.
Uh, drawings.
You see, I think I may know that that's a cart,
Yeah.
but I don't know what's inside. I don't know that drawing.
Drawing. So. Oh, this is that says.
It's like that.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Can you
somebody.
spell it out?
Somebody's
As he's talking to Oswald.
murdered. Spell it out. Somebody was murdered in our cart.
You
Oh, in our
block
cart?
Oswald.
Oh,
Hit
no.
a body.
We weren't supposed to know that.
Oswald has facepalm.
I checked the cart to make sure there's not a body in the cart.
There's no body in the cart.
Oh,
He
but never mind.
Oswald will like point to his eye and then
Okay.
like close
Mhm.
it, and then point to
Yep.
Ash,
Ash is blind in one eye. I knew it.
and then point back to the picture.
He cannot.
Somebody got.
Ash blind in one eye because of picture.
Wait, blind eye. Oh, the dwarf that I was talking about.
And we'll point back to Ash and go and just like relief.
Somebody in town had wounds like the dwarf I saw earlier.
Ash blinded a dwarf.
Ah,
Oh no! Ash,
Not this
what
time.
are you doing?
not this time. No.
Oswald will then like erase the image and then like go back to what he was doing, which is just chilling.
All right.
Hmm.
Sounds like
It
there's
sounds
something
like
to see
the
in town.
Yeah, it sounds like the dwarf that you were explaining might be inside that cart.
Possibly. Or at
Possibly.
least something similar. Should go take a look. But I gotta look after Cinder.
I got the
Hmm.
dog.
I have gadgets to make.
We're all tied down. Crap.
I know.
I'll go check it out. If you try and get the dragon and the dog to get along.
I will
I can
try.
speak to the small dragon. Oh, okay.
You seem
You can speak to the small dragon.
you
her
seem
name is?
better
I
at this whole
can.
pet taming thing.
I've had a long time to practice. So if Dunkel, you want to try and talk to Cinder a little bit while I try to get to these two to get along.
Mhm.
And then I'll do what they needed to do. Or they
Yes.
needed for them to do.
Look for a cart. Look for Thaddeus.
Yep.
Okay, so just to clarify what happens on the off time with Dunkel and the pets, Dunkel would be grabbing the gems inside the bag and surrounding it around Cinder, and then start praising Cinder.
No, no.
Turtleneck, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were resurrected. And he's saying that in Draconic.
Ash is face palming. Oh no. I'm trying to show the dog, Cinder, and also like being protective, letting it know that I am basically Cinder's dad. So just like kind of trying to show very protective behaviors around Cinder. Trying really hard to ignore the fact that you are surrounding her with gems, which are probably making her spin in a circle at all the shiny things, that's overwhelming her.
Name for the dog, by the way.
A name for the dog?
Yeah, Budo. B-U apostrophe T-O.
Budo.
Mhm.
B-O apostrophe T-O?
B-U-T-O.
B-U-T-O. Okay.
B-U apostrophe T-O. I'm naming it after both my dogs because they're getting
Aww.
really old, and this one has two heads. So I took a little bit of both their names.
I see.
Alright.
I wasn't entirely sure if there was like a meaning behind the name. I was like, is that like a mythical creature or?
No, it's just
No. Two
I-
names combined, the dog has two
both,
heads.
both my
so...
dumb dogs are.
Nice.
They only eat their dog food if you put like something human in it. It could even be like carrots or cauliflower.
Well,
Luckily,
they
you
are
didn't
classy
call your dog
dogs.
naughty.
Like they literally don't like their dog food unless you put something in it. It could be like beef jerky. It could be like cauliflower. You just need to put something in it that's not dog food, and they'll eat that shit right up.
Dang.
Do you know what's
Making you
good?
work for it.
My mom makes like chicken, rice, and vegetables, and sometimes eggs for her dogs.
Yeah, we do that too sometimes when we notice our dogs are like having like stomach problems.
Hmm.
All right, I'll go find Thaddeus.
Alright. And then DM, how would you like us to roll for trying to get a Budo to be more friendly with Cinder, or at least not see Cinder as something that they can possibly eat?
So, how are you approaching this?
That's a
Are
good
you
question.
introducing the animals? Are you letting the animals to get to know each other by themselves?
Um,
Oh,
Seeing as how Cinder's I'm baby right now,
mhm,
I don't think it's the best idea to introduce it to something on its own that could be potentially hostile.
right. I am introducing them, and I'm introducing them in a way that I'm very protective of Cinder.
Okay. Because you're both doing it, I will allow either two of you make animal handling or one of you makes it with advantage.
I'm giving it to him.
I thought you would. After
Oh,
today's display.
Let's see how this goes. Not great. God damn.
I
This
think
dog
the
is so
animal
hard.
handling is cursed.
Animal handling is cursed on this.
It actually
My familiar is not an animal; it's an actual person.
a player I play with on Saturdays. Basically, the DM has made it so that he can take his little pet cat and he could understand what it's saying if he ever rolls a nat 20 in animal handling. He gets 1 to 2 checks a day.
That's cool.
He's rolled over 100 times and no nat 20.
Haha. Yeah, they are nowhere to be seen when you need them. Okay.
Unless, of course, you need to slice
1
the door.
to 5. Aggression. 6 to 15. Don't care. 16 to 20. They are best friends. That's an aggression. The dog doesn't seem to be so friendly with the tiny dragon. At least not just yet.
I snatch Cinder back up, have produce flame in my hand,
Would I have
pat
seen this?
Cinder, and walk
Yeah,
away.
no, like you. I imagine it's like, you know, when owners of two dogs are meeting each other and the dogs start sniffing each other, but instead of sniffing, you're like just holding them in like 5 feet distance, trying to see what they're gonna do. So you're holding the dog, but you can see that it starts growling.
I'm okay. At this point, I just need to. I'm gonna grab the dog, like by its like midsection, and just like pull it towards him and like hug it. Just like, hey, calm down. Like this thing obviously must think at some point that it's like controlling situations, and it obviously can't. So I don't know. I'm just gonna try and get it to calm down this way.
Okay, roll one
I've tried
more
just giving
animal handling.
I've tried giving it space. I've tried all of that. I'm not hurting it. I'm just
Let's go,
Yay!
dude.
Yeah, you were just being nice to it,
It
and
just
now
needed physical attention.
It growls, and then you like put some, not aggression, but like sturdy emotion into it, and you like bring it towards you, and you just give it a solid hug. And you know when like angry dogs growl and then they like stop, and you can see them like yapping their face, like mouth. There's like after they are done. That's basically what the dog's doing, and then it's kind of it's letting itself be hugged and like leaning into it, but you can barely tell it.
Okay.
And
I'm just
one head looks at you, and you can see it, just puppy eyes.
I'm, I'm just gonna keep petting it for a minute. Just calm down. Calm down.
And you pet it, and it sits down and allows you to just give it attention, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna let go. And then I'm gonna look to Ash and like give him a nod towards the dragon. Let's do this one more time. I'm gonna keep my hand on the dog's back, like petting it this time.
Okay.
Very, very slowly, sigh softly, kneel down, and kind of ready to snatch it back away if I need to, but very gently try to introduce Cinder one more time.
The dog sits, and one head just zoning out, looking at the surroundings, one head focusing on the dragon, and then as you get closer and closer with Cinder, the other head turns and looks at the dragon, but you don't see any aggression from it. You see as one of the heads like stretches its neck and just tries to get the nose close to Cinder and just starts sniffing it. And then it stops and just continues looking around.
Hey!
I needed that. Okay. I'm gonna give it a good boy little chin scratch and then throw it a treat, and I'm gonna be off for Thaddeus. He should be behaved for a little while at least.
It actually follows you.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna grab the chain, but just tie it to my belt.
Simple as that. You tie it, and the dog walks slightly behind you, but alongside you, without having the chain being pulled taut.
Okay. If we can introduce it to a fucking dragon and it not do anything, then we can probably introduce it to people. I'm gonna go look for Thaddeus.
Okay. Thaddeus, did you want to go back through town, or did you want to go around town?
I'd probably go back through town just to make sure I didn't forget anything for like our morning supplies.
Okay. So Strife, where are you looking for Thaddeus? Going to town or
I'm so glad I just zoned out. Where was he last seen heading off to?
to town?
Town? Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna head directly to town.
Okay.
I think I've been in there once, maybe twice, so
A feral lion man with a two-headed dog walks into town.
Yeah.
yeah.
People
I'm the
are
danger.
people are
Yeah.
moving away. And of course, there is some distance being created. Nobody wants to
He's
really get
unarmed.
close to you.
He's unarmed right now. He's literally unarmed right now.
But you have a two-headed dog with you. Like obviously people gonna be scared of you.
I'm gonna
Plus,
occasionally
People
I'm
are
gonna
like
occasionally
4'6", and you're like 7 feet.
yeah, I'm bordering on that 8 foot mark.
Yeah,
Damn,
not
I'm
not
almost as
long
tall as a
before.
Goliath. I'm almost as tall as a Goliath. Holy fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna like occasionally squat down and like pet the dog, give him chin scratches, and like give him a treat.
Okay.
This dog has a tail, right?
It wags it, and then it stops. It like trying to not show much emotion, I guess. Dog emotion.
I get that.
Plus, it's among a town full of dwarves, so it's a bit on edge. But it knows it's close to you, so it follows without an issue. And
Thaddeus,
not long
who
before.
is
Yeah, sorry.
who is like a foot or two taller
Yeah.
than most of the people here, sometimes 3 feet taller. Um, can very clearly look over the crowd and is just sort of like looking through stalls and stuff. And I guess like his passive perception, he starts hearing whispers like something's happening, and he just sort of looks up and like looks around to see what they're talking about. And fucking like someone who's walking through a puddle of knee-deep water. I see Strife walking through a crowd of
Basically,
people.
yeah. Just emerges from behind the building.
I just raise an eyebrow.
What were you gonna say, Passion?
Exactly what he did. He just did my job.
I didn't think you'd
Um,
want to be in town.
I I pulled the short straw and had to come find you. What's up? Your bird was telling us something about like a one-eyed dwarf and ash.
He raises a finger to his mouth.
Ah, my bad. What were you talking about? Some one-eyed dwarf and ash?
Something he was talking about before. I found another one.
Oh,
And I also found a job. Are you surprised? I'm not anymore.
not really. I mean, you've found like half of our jobs.
And it gets Ash closer to where he wants to be, so
I'm guessing that's the crater.
yep.
Nice. More caves. I'm gonna like look at him and then like nod towards the dog and say, I don't know what happened, but he's completely relaxed right now.
I'm not gonna test that.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna like Like, I'm literally just gonna like pet the dog and then like kind of like do that thing where you put your arms under their like shoulder blades and just not shoulder blades, like elbows, and just pick them up.
Okay.
I walk away, walk back towards the tower.
So before that, Thaddeus, make a dexterity check, or actually,
What?
athletics.
Yeah, okay.
7.
For what?
As you're conversing with Strive, you feel a hard hit on the side of you, and you stumble. You have to take like 2 steps to the side to catch yourself, and you look, and there's just a dwarf who clearly, purposely walked into you, and
I'm gonna.
he turns
I use my
around.
mage hand and
I'm
grab his
grabbing him by
ankle
the
as he takes
shoulder.
a step.
I'm also grabbing him by the shoulder.
I just sort of like put my hand up to Strife.
Okay.
I want to trip him. That was my purpose.
Yeah, you did trip him, and he turns around.
And I dismiss the mage hand before he turns around. Are you okay?
Watch yourselves, you fucking tall fucks. And he turns around and walks away.
I look to Strife and I just sort of mouth, one more?
Yeah, I'm gonna give
I
him a
use
nod.
mage hand and grab his ankle again. The other ankle.
Oh no.
He almost falls. He stumbles onto his like knee, hits one knee on the ground.
Wait, can I assist him with using my blood curse of the eyeless?
How?
I'm just gonna make him blind for like a second.
At
Hey.
this rate, I'm gonna return to
The
the
same roll,
wagon and find a corpse in there after all.
Yeah, so he trips, he lands on his knee, and he's still about to catch himself, and then suddenly his vision is gone, and he just goes face first into dirt. And then he stands up and like sifts off the dirt off his face and continues straight like nothing happened. He's like clearly pretending like he didn't just fall and trip and fall.
God, I wish I had more blood maledicts. How many do I have at this level?
Ooh,
I
Nah,
think
that's
I
what I
literally
call
get
like-
one.
I would like to check my possessions.
Okay, roll perception.
Not investigation.
Sorry, investigation.
Okay.
11. I mean, even with your high passive perception.
Can I like really perceive the dwarf to see if anything looks unusual? Seeing as I just like he's been like tripped twice, like he can't hide anything.
Yeah. What it was just a racial act.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't like you there. That's basically
Race
what it was.
wars.
Damn, those short feet ain't getting you very far, are they?
I shout out in Dwarvish, kind of
Oh, no.
broken. Have a nice day. It's more like
Have a
nice day. Have
Yeah.
Nice they have.
That's really funny.
He turns around for just a second, and you just see hate in his eyes, and then he disappears into the crowd.
Oh no.
But like the edge of tears kind of hate.
Why wasn't I built different?
Yeah.
oh, I'm hardy and I can take hits and I'm resistant to poison, but no, fuck that tall guy.
He has just as much constitution buffs as I do. You know what the difference is? I'm faster. And I can also roar.
And you're taller.
And I'm taller.
And you're a
Well,
cat.
That came with faster. True. I get feline shit.
And you're
I'm just built different.
Basically, that's the
Wait.
summary of it.
When your constitution is a 20, can't wait for the unnatural boost.
Also, when did you turn into Darth Vader?
Oh yeah, your voice
your voice
changed
thingy.
slightly.
Hello? Hello?
Yep.
You got kind of like you're talking into a cup.
Yep.
What?
Sound like you're talking into a can.
Oh.
Oh.
That was strange.
Yeah, that was
It
wild.
repeated my
What-
voice.
Is
that
it
what I
back to
sound like?
normal?
Yeah, back to
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck, voice
I
mod?
thought it
didn't
was
even say anything was on.
fixed.
I thought so too. Oh my god, fuck this.
Did you just leave it on?
Test, test,
No?
test.
Yeah, you're fine.
There's a button I use to turn those on and off. I just swapped it to use my actual mic input and not the voice mod transfer. It says nothing's on. I'm hearing myself. Nothing's being played over it. It's just, what the fuck? Like I can't even hear it on my end. Hello?
It's
Hello?
crazy.
Hello?
It's actually so
That's-
funny.
Yes.
God, fuck voice mod, dude. That happens while I'm streaming too. That's the worst part.
Okay. Anything else you would like to accomplish before the brink of day or the end of day?
Not really.
I just
Dogs happy.
bring
I'm
everything
happy.
back, and I'll let them know that we have a job tomorrow at the crater.
Nice. Oh,
We have free passage.
so much for my plan to break in. All right,
So
good.
what's the job? What are we doing?
We are legally allowed to enter.
Mm-hmm.
We will be rewarded if we deal with
Wait,
whatever is in there.
Enter what?
The crater.
Hmm.
Wait, you
could've
know, I
asked me.
realized
You could have asked me. I would have gotten us permission.
that was my first roll since I named the dog.
Hey.
Did
That's
anybody
all
hear
I
me?
had to do.
Yeah, you can't bond with an animal unless you name it. Come on.
We told Kialis. You could have asked me to get your permission.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just sort of came across it.
Oh.
I told Oswald to tell you, and why is he just whatever?
Okay.
I saw somebody in a cart with claw marks across his chest, similar to the way you described the man with the eye, or lack thereof.
The black wounds. Oh, purplish.
That's not edgy.
But
What's
what
any
you-
other?
There's smoke coming out the center.
Hmm.
That's new.
Do you think those have to deal with the gates?
I doubt it.
Okay.
This, I think, is unrelated, though still something to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, the key didn't match the door.
again, if y'all need a way out in case like shit does go south, just follow me. I know where to go.
Can you draw a map? They were very unhelpful with that.
A map.
Also, what is the name of the dog? Like the species?
Well, Passion, could I draw a map?
I actually don't know what the species of it is.
You could, but I guess Thaddeus would relay that
Oh,
you were specifically asked for the 5th level.
it's called a death dog.
Death dog.
So,
I'm sorry. It's actually called a tuberous.
A tuberous, not
No,
Tuberous.
It's-
Oh, I get it. Funny.
It's
tuberous.
canonically known as a tuberous in my book.
a.
so Passion, Thaddeus asked me if I can draw a map. Knowing Dunkel's knowledge, it would be like whatever backstory related he was told and went through. So it's up to you how you want to decide it, but do you need me
Well-
to roll anything?
You can draw a map, but if it's the one you need, it's a different story.
Oh,
Okay.
I just saw a cool image. I kind of want to modify to make my death dog.
So Dunkel would draw the map of what he knows of the crater, and that is it.
Well, it's currently better than what we had.
And just for the uncle's sake, he would highlight the exit route.
All right.
Do you need to roll anything, Passion?
Not now.
Not now. Okay.
This is a later roll when we're in there and we have to escape.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wait, I just realized we were at a town where I could probably buy like dog armor.
Possibly. Though you just got it trained, so getting its measurements is possible now.
It wasn't until today.
Yeah.
basically. Okay, so
Oh,
if that is
fuck.
it, then we will end today's session here.
Okay, I'm getting some cool ideas
Alright.
for Strive.
And
So
I would like all of you to add an inspiration die.